Chill Bitcoin guy here. Like and follow for crypto wisdom. Coming to you from a rainy day in Tallahassee. Had a little success on my video yesterday about shorting the ETF, so I thought I'd do another quick follow-up to explain high level some differences between different mechanisms used to short and, in my opinion, create synthetic Bitcoin. So first, let's talk about shorting for those who don't know. A very simple, concept. Short of the ETF would be if I borrowed a share from you and then I sold that share on the open market immediately, so I now have cash, but you have an IOU. I owe you a share back, right? I have to pay you back a share at some point in the future. And when I do, no problem, right? I can go buy it and pay you back. That's a short. You borrow a share, sell it now with a promise to pay it back, and you hope the price decreases in the meantime so that when you have to go pay the share back, you can go buy it back for half the value and you keep the delta. You keep the difference between what you sold it for when you borrowed it and what you buy it back for. Here's my problem with that. And I'll do another video later on options like calls and puts, which are even worse. But here's my opinion on shorting. The problem with that is that you take it and you now have two shares, right? So you had one share that I borrowed from you. I then sold that share on the open market. So that share is with somebody else, sitting with them. But I still owe you a share back. So one share has kind of become two. And now this doesn't really present a problem when there's sufficient liquidity and not too much borrowing going on. But the problem becomes when there's so much shorting, there's so many IOUs out there to pay back people in the shares that there's not enough shares or there's not enough of the underlying asset in the ETF to do so. And so you end up in a situation where, like I said with silver yesterday, if you called all of the shorts, so to speak, and you had to force these people to buy the shares back and to give them back to the people they borrowed them from, they wouldn't be able to get them because there wouldn't be sufficient liquidity. That's like the game theory on this. That's what happens in the long term with too many shorts and too many synthetic shares created through borrowing and reselling. And the problem sort of worsens if it continues, right? So like I borrow the share from you, okay? But then you borrow it from me and someone else borrows it and you have like multiple shorts in a row. And now that one share, essentially 5 people owe 5 shares back out of that one. So that's a high level kind of description of a short. It may not be perfect. I'm making it a little bit simpler for the crowd here, but I'll do another video in the future on calls and puts and leverage contracts.